You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the Washington Redskins. With that, let's get on up to FedEx Field near Washington. Standing by for the call of this one, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. They'll be led out by the #1 overall pick in the 2018 draft, the Oklahoma Sooner, Baker Mayfield.
It's a pretty bland game he had last time out. Ended up throwing one interception, didn't have a touchdown to offset it, but the team found a way to win. He found a way to lean on other parts of the offense that carried them through.
They begin this drive with Chubb. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, that he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. On 2nd and 12, Mayfield. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. The catch and run, good for 24 yards. That's the #2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be #2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be #1.
That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. They run. Chubb. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last bit of practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Play fake. Mayfield. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham. His 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Browns take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one fielded at the 5. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Haskins and the Redskins come up 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Darius Geis, his first carry of the game. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Give the Redskins 13 there on a first down. On 1st and 10, it's Haskins. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. He was looking for Paul Richardson there.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
It's caught. Beckham. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds.
Offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. No room to be had there on the first down run, as he's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Kyle Van Noy in on the stop. Throwing on 2nd and long. Mayfield nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The DN, Jonathan Allen, making sure his presence is felt.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
And he is going to go down. They sack him on the final play of the first quarter. The start of the second quarter, and it's the Browns in control of the football. But likely not for long, as they're in punt formation to kick it away. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 to score as they start 1st and 10. They run. Hyde gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
On 2nd down, Hyde. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. From the gun, Haskins on 3rd down. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. The Browns drive about to get started. And the magnitude of this game, everybody knows it. The fans, obviously the players and coaches. There's just with them a palpable buzz right now. They know they control their own destiny.
Win, and you're in. And I think every player wants that. I think every coach wants that. I haven't been an organization yet that wants to be in a game where they have to rely on other teams to get them to their goals. In this situation, it's very cut and dry. Win, and you're in the playoffs. That's their mission. That's their challenge. And you know they've chosen to accept it.
And what they told us is this has been the most focused week of practice we've had all year. You wouldn't expect any different.
Yeah, and you know, at the beginning of the season, you have multiple goals. They just have one now. Win the game.
23 yards the pickup there. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Hey, alert!
Right back to him on first down. Breaks a tackle. Gave a glimpse of his quick feet, but not a whole lot of space down at the 30. The tackle there by Fabian Moreau.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up, because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now this throw caught left side, and he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Odell Beckham with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. He's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Here's Hyde on the draw. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4. Looking to throw, Haskins. Jordan Reed has it. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. The end result, 21 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another blitz coming, and down he goes. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
Let's go, D.
Now Haskins to throw it. He finds his running back, Hyde. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. Now Haskins, 3rd and long. Complete here. It's Hyde. And he's going to get this to about the 20, but that is well short of what he needed. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. The kick by Fairbairn is good, and they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you get some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
He'll lose a couple on what should be the final play of the first half. We now proceed to the start of the second half. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. They had a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game. And now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. From the gun, a give to Hyde. They get just a yard back there, and now they'll be looking at a tough 3rd and 15.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Haskins to throw. Looking long for his tight end read. And that is incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Yeah, that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the 3rd quarter. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Chubb on 1st down, no room to roam as he struggles just to get back to the line of scrimmage. He was taken down by Quentin Dunbar. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Hey, alert, 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 alert.
From the gun, Mayfield. It's caught by OBJ. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. Shoves him aside, and they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland 1st down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a 1st down.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
On 2nd down at 4, Mayfield, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Kyle Van Noy racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Out of the shotgun, Haskins. And he's going to lose yardage here, as they will switch ends as time is run out on this 3rd quarter of play. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They're going on 4th down. Haskins trying to lay one up deep. And that is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. The lone man in the backfield here is Chubb on 2nd and goal. Mayfield now. And this is caught for a Browns touchdown by Landry. Jarvis Landry with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Extra point by Seibert up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes the Washington offense as we're going to look at the playoff race in the NFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
Now left side on the swing pass, and they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. The Redskins on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Third down. Here's Haskins. And this one complete to Reed. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 30 yards there. And, of course, the first down as well. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Haskins going to throw again, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Demarius Randall, and the return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. He was looking for Paul Richardson there.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. That second down run, a big help. The 7 yards leaves them with just a 3rd and 3 now. They run it again with Chubb. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. Mayfield to throw it. They set up the screen to Chubb. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's 2nd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be giving a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. A hat tip to P.J. Williams there defensively, making sure that one didn't find its target. He gets this down to the 3, but no further. Brought the power run out of the bag and got a couple extra yards with it. 7 big yards on the carry there to get him within range of the goal line with 3rd down upcoming. Here's Mayfield. And this is caught for a Browns touchdown by Landry. Jarvis Landry. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I'll guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
That's it, baby. We go first.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want...
That's caught inside the 20. And a little bit of a consolation prize there. He's into the end zone. Won't win him the game, but they do get the score with all zeros showing.
But some fantasy players are really happy with that score.
Doesn't affect the outcome, but, hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of...